Hey everyone, Ricky here from Ricky's Tech Talk. In today's video, I'll be sharing my open, honest review of the AOC gaming monitor. The model number for reference is U28G2XU, and I will make sure to add a link in the video description. So let's begin by sharing some of the key details first, while highlighting some of the key gaming points of this monitor too. So our display is 28 inches in size, it has a 4K UHD resolution, and its pixel resolution is 3840 by 2160, so it's really high resolution, which means your images will look crisp and clean, or when you're gaming, your game experience will really come to life with a really bright panel as well. Really noticed a difference here when it comes to gaming, and I've really enjoyed my experience, and I'll be showing some games as we're going through. It offers a refresh rate of 144 Hz. It has 1 millisecond response time, but that's measured grey to grey, so there's different measurements there. And it has 2 speakers at 3 watts, but we'll go into that a little bit later. You do have HDR as well available, so it's VESA certified and display HDR 400, so it's the lowest end of scale for HDR, but it does offer some HDR. There is some flexibility to this monitor too, with the options of height adjustment, to swivel, to tilt, and to pivot even if you want to. No Friends reference there to just pivot around the staircase, but you do have that option there. But let's go into a little bit further detail and explain a little bit more about some of the key options before sharing my personal opinion as you're seeing some gaming footage going on. So it does have 3 minimal bezels, so you've got very small bezels on the left, right and top, which is really helpful for the ultimate setup. If you want 1, 2 or 3 monitors, you could have these all lining up and it would look fantastic because you've got really narrow bezels, which is really nice to see, and the content goes all the way to the edge. So you could have a multiple setup monitor there with a frameless design which offers the minimal bezels and just ultimate sort of experience in gaming really. And I really like that option when looking at this monitor, and for me I only had 1, but I'd like to see what 3 or even 2 would look like. As I mentioned, it does have the UHD 4K resolution, so if your content is in 4K, it is going to look absolutely crisp and clean and really enjoyable. Even at full HD, it looked really good. But 4K is 4 times full HD resolution, and it boasts that pixel density with sharp images and the finest details in your game, so you really get to experience what the world looks like in great detail. So then I mentioned it has a 144 Hz refresh rate. So this gives you the option with twice the frame rate of other monitors, and goodbye to image stuttering, blurring, motion, and with 144 Hz refresh rate, every frame is rendered sharply and is in smooth succession. So that's what the 144 Hz refresh rate looks like. And with some of the games that I play, such as Forza, FIFA even, you get to see that experience. But this will work even better when you're using a PC for PC gaming with a GPU, because you can talk to each other. The monitor and the GPU can talk to each other and really showcase this monitor off to its potential. So you have 60 Hz to 144 Hz, you go for the higher number. And as I mentioned also, you've got the 1 millisecond response time. This is measured in grey to grayscale, so a little bit different than the MPRT option, which is the more defined option, but it's nice to still have that 1 millisecond response time. So that is from when you're inputting a button to shoot or score, say, or for accelerating in a race, you get to see that a lot quicker through the monitor. It's very quick and responsive. And again, I felt that with my games, and especially with FIFA, you need very quick reactions to play FIFA online, and it seemed to work really well for me. So the monitor is an IPS panel, which ensures excellent viewing experiences with lifelike yet brilliant and accurate colours, which is very true. As you know, for me, I create content all the time, so I want my images to look as best as they can, and also I want my videos to look as colour accurate as possible, and I try my best here at Ricky's Tech Talk. Then we move on to VESA certified display HDR 400. Even though the lowest level of high dynamic range, it features a significant upgrade to common monitors. So this is their lowest point, but it's still nice to know that you have HDR available. So the peak lumens of 400 CDM squared enables your display to house the picture quality with a mindful color spectrum and more diverse contrast. So that means your whites will look whiter, your darks will look darker with shadows or a bright sunlight, say when playing Halo, or different options when racing with rain. You'll see those subtle changes that make you feel the content is more to you and makes you feel more immersed, it makes you feel more enjoyment, and you enjoy using your monitor and you enjoy your content that you're using. So yes, it is the lowest point of HDR 400 and I've seen the higher points, but for me it was still enjoyable and it's still nice to have this instead of not having it at all. So for me, being 6 foot tall and quite long-legged, I have to really change and adjust my monitors the way I need them. So I like a monitor to be ergonomic and adjustable to me. I shouldn't change my life to a device. So with height adjustment, you have a lot of options here. So it moves all the way through 130 mils of height adjustment. And then also you do have the tilt option, swivel option and pivot option as well. So let's just share those details. So when it comes to tilt, you can either have a -5 or a +21.5 option there. So you can really change and adjust it the way it is to you. And then swivel, you can go -32 or +32. And then you have the option to pivot in 90-degree angle. So that's good for stocks and shares, image as well. A lot of people use it for images and also for news papers and other options there. So it does have that option to use a pivot option and I really like that, and I've still got the friends thing in mind saying with Ross to keep pivoting, but never mind, let's carry on. Another point that I just want to mention is the speakers. Yes, it has speakers, but it also has a headphone jack. And as a gamer, you're going to know headphones are always going to be better, or external speakers. Monitor speakers are still not fantastic. They're still not great. They're okay. I can use them on a daily basis for content watching or checking bits. It's okay for me, but for experience and enjoying your content, it's so important to have good speakers. So it has 2 × 3 watt speakers inside here, which are okay, but otherwise it's suggested to use headphones or speakers because you can then just enjoy your content. If that's music, or if you're watching YouTube, or if you're listening to any audio, you want to be pulled into your audio in that experience. You've got a great monitor here with no bezels that are distracting you. You've got 4K UHD resolution and you don't want your sound to let you down. So I'd really recommend using headphones or finding another solution with external speakers. So also you have the option to turn on AOC's low input lag. So unleash your reflexes by switching AOC's low input lag mode on, and forget graphical frills, but this mode reveals the monitor in favor of raw response time, giving you the ultimate edge in hair trigger standoff. So if you want a quick fire action, maybe Call of Duty, Fortnite, because there's no builds section at the moment on Fortnite, you may want to use that to get that quick fire point accuracy instead of the frills of graphics. You still have your graphics, it won't be massively distracted, but you have that quick response time, which I really like. This monitor, when coming to gaming, offers 6 gaming modes, which are tailored to your display and tailored to the design and game you're playing. So this can be easily switched with the buttons, and we're going to go through the different menu controls as well. And they're preset for you, so the preset for FPS, racing, RTS games, or customize your own ideal customizations. And you have gaming options. So you have FPS, racing, RTS, gaming 1, gaming 2, and there are other options on there. And as I said, we're going to go through the menu controls. So let's take a look at the menu controls now. So we're going to be moving from right to left, and on the right hand side you've got an LED indicator which is showing white at the moment. So if you touch this one here, this will actually power your monitor off, and then touch it again and it will power on, and it will connect to the most relevant source, which currently is my MacBook Pro. So it comes back on. Next to that, then we have our menu option, and you can press your menu option then again to select into an option, and you would press it again to highlight it and select, and then you can use the 2 further buttons along the left hand side to scroll through your menu if you want to as well. Loads of different options inside here to change, as well as language, your display, your contrast, your brightness, your volume as well, and you do have your dedicated game mode as well here. And I'm just selecting through to frame frame rate as well, because I want to show the frame rate actually on the display. And you have different options, which is really helpful actually. I think it's quite a complete menu system. I just don't like the menu options here where it's underneath the bezel. I prefer a joystick control. Then, as you can see here, by selecting again the menu option, it will highlight in green, and you can make your option come true, and you can navigate back and then press the button at the farthest end, and that would cancel. The next button will give you your hair trigger point, so really great for first person shooters. And then we move into our game control options, and you can scroll through here and see the different options you have, and I mentioned these previously, and it automatically changes and adjusts the display to your designated choice. The next button along will select your game mode, and you can toggle this on or off very quickly, and then you can use the previous options to select the option you wanted. And then your final button is just your input selection. So as I mentioned, 2 HDMIs and 2 display ports there. Pressing that again will cancel off. So I feel with the system menu it's a bit sluggish, and I prefer a joystick control option that you've seen on other monitors. I think the buttons are hard, they're fiddly to find, which is really annoying. I've had this monitor now for a couple of months and I still find I'm unsure which button I'm pressing, or I forget which one does which action, because tactilely underneath they're not much different at all, and under the bezel seems small, fiddly, and it just doesn't seem to work for me. It may do for you, but let me know what you prefer. Do you prefer the button option, or do you prefer a joystick control stick option, which I prefer personally. With this monitor you can also control the game color and shadow control, so you can bring the battle out of the shadows with the AOC shadow control and AOC game color. You can adjust grey levels for better picture and detail, and brighten dark areas, or sync them back into the blackness and fly without affecting any rest of the display, which I think is really good, and you get to see that on some of the games that I play. And then with this as well, while we're talking about gaming, you have AMD Freesync technology, which is their premium option, and NVIDIA G-Sync as well. So this is where you use your GPU with your PC or your laptop gaming one that has a GPU inside it to then really talk to the monitor and get the best performance out of your monitor. So it is really good to have them options there. One other thing I do like to see is flicker-free technology. So flicker-free technology really helps for those that are visually impaired. So some people suffer from horizontal lines flickering. So it has flicker-free technology, and it also has low blue mode as well, which takes the harsh blue light out of your monitor or out of your content you're watching, and you can really enjoy what you're watching. And I really like that option there, especially as being visually impaired. I like to see these options are included as well, because it's important our devices are accessible. And then AOC have also introduced their new G menu. So the G menu is a free tool that you can install on your PC to have complete customization paired with maximum convenience. So you can actually control this on your desktop if you want to. It's a free tool, and I will leave a link in the video description, and it's nice to have if you have a great PC gaming setup. Yes, I only play on consoles at the moment. I am looking to get into that PC industry and gaming. It's just time and money is really important at the moment as I'm saving up to get married. So it's more important to have all of that ready and done, and then I can pay for my gaming PC afterwards. But it is nice to use this monitor. I've used it now for a couple of months and I've really enjoyed the experience. It has been there to help with content creation. It has been there to help with gaming. It has been there to help with my daily life. And the one thing I do like is the narrow bezels that you do see with this monitor, because it means you are pulled into your content. If you have large bezels that are bulky, that get in the way, it can be a bit frustrating. So a couple of the negative points for me, a lot of positive points with the specs and the different features for the price point, which I'll get onto, but some of the negative ones is that it has that plastic feel about it, a lot of plastic. It has the shades of red and black, which is really nice, but you do have quite a plastic feel to it, which we do see with some monitors, and that changes once the price goes up and into the more premium ranges that you'll see with the likes of the Philips monitor that I take a look at and other displays from AOC. But it's okay because you're not going to sit there and look at the plastic all the time. You're going to be enjoying your content. With the shades of red and black, I really like that approach. And then you also have cable management and you have loads of different ports as well. One thing I haven't touched on is the ports and connectability. So we're looking at the ports and connectability, you do have options to connect multiple different devices, which I think is really important. So let's just go through those ports now to explain what you have. So on the back, you're going to find two HDMIs, which are HDMI 2.0. You're going to find DisplayPort 1.4 times 2 as well, so you've got 4 different options then to connect. You do have a USB hub, which is USB 3.2 Gen 1, and you have 4 USB downstreams and you have one upstream to link into your device. And it has USB fast charging port available as well, which is really handy if you need to connect a device. I would like to see these maybe move to USB-C as with time goes on, because for me, I don't use USB 3s all the time now, and USB-A's, sorry. So a USB-C would be really great to move into, but also that would push up the price as well. And then finally on connectivity, you have your headphone out, which is 3.5mm. That's a typical headphone jack there. And just talking about headphones, sound and audio is going back to the speakers. Yes, you do have 2 speakers at 3 watts each, but they're monitor speakers and they're just never great. They just don't perform very well. Your content sounds trapped, especially with high loud volume of music when it comes to listening to audio streams and then video content. You're not too sure what you're going to get when it comes to a game. It's either going to be loud, explosive or quiet and set the scene there. And you want speakers that can do that and pair with the monitor. So you can either use speakers or headphones. But at the end of the day, you don't buy a monitor for its speakers, you buy it for its display and the key features. So having 4K UHD resolution, 144Hz refresh rate, 1 millisecond response time, the VESA certified display HDR 400 is the key points that you take away from this. And in my review, I've enjoyed my time with this monitor. It's been fast responsive, it's worked for me, it's been enjoyable to watch. And to be honest, it's those couple of little negative points. Yes, there are negative points, but you've got to decide what's best for you. And to be honest, at the price point, so currently at the moment of filming, so about £550 to £580, depending where you shop. And that's not too bad for the specs you get, for the options you get, for the different features you get from AOC. And I will make sure to leave a link in the description. So let me know what you think. Is this a possible monitor that you would take a look at? Is it going to help you with your content creation? Is it going to help you with your gaming experience? Let me know by leaving a comment underneath the like button, and make sure if you haven't already to subscribe to stay updated with all of my latest videos, as I have got the Philips Momentum console gaming monitor review coming up very soon as well. From me, Ricky, thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye for now. If you want to continue watching further content I have created, check out my latest videos here. And as I mentioned, make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't by clicking on my face right here.